Sharik. Sharik Peck.
Thank you very much for the opportunity to be here, Dr. Meyer. Dr. Kelly, that was a wonderful introduction to some things that I need to present on. I am a physical therapist, and next slide, please. I've spent much of the last 20 years working with large companies to try and reduce injuries. And along the way, I have found some wonderful ways to be able to enhance and improve the ability for the human nervous system to function better and find happy. Next slide, please. If you were to put a face to VUCA, it would be much like this. But I don't want you to think of the expression here. I want you to think of what is actually happening underneath that. And if you go to the next slide, please. It's a simple concept. It's simply like a seesaw or a teeter-totter between two major nerves in the nervous system. One being the trigeminal nerve that is a big part of showing the expression that you just saw, and the other is the vagus nerve. And the problem is that the vagus nerve is the one that keeps our thinking brain on track, and the trigeminal nerve and its desire to keep the body alive for another day keeps us in this state of VUCA. Next slide, please. One of the things that we have found is that if we can keep the vagus nerve functioning at a very high level, we modulate the inflammation, we strengthen the memory, it helps us to breathe, it increases salivation, it does all of these wonderful things that help us to be able to survive and thrive and flourish. Next slide, please. Well, there are a number of technologies that will help us keep our thinking brain online when we're going through crisis and when we're going through a VUCA world. In particular, there are several validated tools that we have found that are extremely helpful. The binaural pulse modulation, the BOD system, has been validated for PTSD, anxiety, and depression. Sound and healing music therapies by Dr. Jeffrey Thompson are wonderful. Dr. Kelly just shared with you something absolutely amazing, which is the Evoke system and thought processes. But it's very important in the world that we live in that we learn how to take our nervous system and the amygdala, as Dr. Leisman talked about, and we learn to keep our brain from being hijacked in that fight or flight or freeze or fawn state. And we've got to get it back into the thinking process. Well, some of these scientifically validated tools are wonderful to be able to keep the brain in a present state and keep it aware. One of them that I work with is this little device, the Tuner Pro. We created this to help bring balance to the central nervous system. And we combine it with breathing, and we combine it with thought processes, and the Evoke system is wonderful for that. It helps to imprint into the nervous system the way to get back into that calm and productive state. Next slide, please.
I already presented that.
Yes, yes. And here's a little bit more about the BOD, and I hope that that you'll be able to spend some time and learn about these processes. Next slide, please. We use the anatomical connections as an entryway into the central nervous system. All of these tools can help us do that. The BOD uses the acoustic and auditory systems. Ours, the resonance tools, the vibrational tools of the tuner creates a way for the central nervous system via the vagus nerve to keep its calm, collective, and healing state at a high level. All of these tools have been scientifically validated. Dr. Leisman has been extremely helpful in that regard. They're rooted in neuroscience. They improve resilience, and they speed up the body's ability to recover, even for just little micro breaks in this VUCA world. In essence, keeping your employees' brain engaged, their prefrontal cortex and their frontal cortex online, so that they can be a more productive part of the solution. Next slide. Thank you.
Scott Duncan, are you with us?
Yes, I am, Gerard.
Okay,
Thank you
Scott,
very
I will
much.
ask you, I know you from so many years. I will ask you to try to go quick enough so Salome have also some time to present.
Yes, sir.